What's going on, people? TroopzTV back again. Back our blood clot again, you understand? Obviously, the transfer window is 8 days away from closing. So, you get me? I thought, let the man them have another little talk, you get me? Because nothing's really been going on. But today, there's been a lot of rumors popping up, you understand? Big up everybody already inside. Pause, you understand? Make sure you like the thing. Make sure you share the thing. And make sure you subscribe to the blood clot thing. You understand? Big up the man them also inside. Pause. You understand? Make sure the pause counter is on the go in the chat as usual. You get me? We've got 2 already. You understand? As you can see, I got 2 of my real runs alongside me. My brother Deluded and my brother Potsy. Man, them, nothing's been really going on, but let me just do some housekeeping first. How have the man them been, firstly? You get me?
Dan?
Listen, I've been good, man. It's been busy times because it's been a hectic time in my life. However, it hasn't been hectic in this transfer window, my bro. Not just for us, actually. Do you know what I'm saying? Actually, for quite a lot of them as teams as well. But other than that, bro, I'm good. And it's a pleasure to be on, man. Big up to yourself. Big up to the chat. Big up Deluded. It's always a pleasure to share a stream with you two, man.
Come on, man. As Dan just said, man, it's always a pleasure to be here with 2 of the best content creators, people who talk sense, and whether our opinions align or disagree, it's always a great chat. And in relation to myself, just making the content ticking over. Been enjoying a lot of other platforms, in particular Dan's, man. He's, every day there's a new sort of madness going on with his streams and in-house fighting and things. It's pure entertainment, man. So yeah, man, the only depressing thing I'm sure we're going to get onto is it's the 24th of January. Nothing's in the club at the moment at this time, man, in terms of incoming. So yeah, bro, it's about it.
24 days gone. You said it. Nothing's come into the club. You understand? Nothing's gone out either, blood. You get me? I think the only thing that's happened is Marquinhos returning off his loan from Nantes. You get me? And my man from Scotland, the young buck. We moved back from Motherwell.
Oh, Bereth.
And then shipped out again, yeah.
And then ship him out again, blood. You understand? Like, it hasn't been a very exciting window. Obviously, we all know, well, I believe that majority of Arsenal fans will agree with me that the main thing we need in this window is a striker. Osimhen has been talking to CBS in recent days, and he said that he's made his decision. You get me? Now, it's either us or Chelsea. Chelsea are the favourites. You get me? He's been twerking for them all over Twitter. Pause, because no man can twerk for man. You understand? There's the third one. You get me? And obviously, he's been doing his thing over there, blood. You understand? And in the AFCON, he ain't been really doing his thing, blood. You understand? A lot of misses. You get me? For me, like, I'm not on the Osimhen signing. Obviously, Arteta is a big admirer of the player. Me, I'm more saying Ivan Toney. You get me? Premier League proven. Came back again. And scored and assisted. You get me? The man only needs 2 more goals to equal our main number 9, Gabby Jesus, who has played 6 months of football, blood. You get me? Very depressing, bro. You understand? Very depressing, fam.
You don't laugh, you'll cry, man. Oh my days,
bro. That's why you get me, blood. R.I.P. my brother. Blacks every time, light up everywhere. You get me? Because that's the only way I'm getting through this life, blood. You get me? When I being an Arsenal fan, you understand? Everything else is all right in my life, but I got a beautiful wife. I got 2 beautiful, healthy children, and then I have this fucking club just fucking up everything, blood. You get me? You got Dan over there doing up fucking Maury. You understand? It's absolute scenes on football's 12 man podcast. You get me? You got Northside. You get me? You got Northside moving like Scream, prime Scream, blood. You have to Scream 1. You understand? Maybe Scream 2, Scream 1. You understand? And then you have the Arteta defenders. You get me? Moving like his Braveheart, blood. You understand? They come with a whole gang, blood. You understand? There's not one of them, blood. They bring the whole gang, blood. You get me? But that's the only excitement, really, blood. You get me? But back to the Osimhen thing. Who he said he's made his decision. What do you think the decision is, man? Them
Chelsea, innit? Like you see Jogba's offensive, always next to him, gassing him up. Chelsea probably laying down the groundwork. Obviously, I don't know if we'll have the P's, but you'd imagine in the summer there'll be more transfer money available. It just seems like he's going Chelsea. The only hope is, you know, what we will lead to believe is going to be a formality. You know, you look at Gakpo, it looked like he was going United, and then he went somewhere else. That's the only kind of hope you have. But for me, it's a Chelsea thing, really and truly. I don't want to praise them, but they have the potential to get their project back on track. And, you know, Chelsea have won a number of big trophies in it. And he was allegedly a boyhood fan. Like we've spoken about before, Troops. I'm happy with an Ivan Toney, Vlahovic or Osimhen. Osimhen would be my first choice if I could. But yeah, man, I just think he's gone Chelsea, really and truly. But if there's a chance, let's get it done, man. Just get a striker in at some point, whoever it is, wherever they're from, wherever they're playing.
Potsy.
Listen, I don't see it happening to Arsenal. I'm with Deluded, man. I think he's going to go Chelsea because it just makes sense for him to look. Whenever I see money and wages, it's going to be Chelsea. Like the whole Mudryk thing, like the Caicedo thing. We're going to see more. And I think Osimhen is so clear of that. And I think Chelsea attacking options, Broja and what's his name? Nicholas Jackson. They're going to need that centre forward. And I think that Osimhen fits the bill for them. Now, I don't really think Osimhen will look at the move and think that Arsenal's the place he wants to go, because I truly believe that he will want to be guaranteed first teamer. And I know that he will be at Chelsea, and he knows he will be at Chelsea. And there's something in my mind that just thinks even if we had an Osimhen or a Tony, Jesus would probably still play because he's Mikel Arteta's guy. So I'm not so sure that we're going to see him come to Arsenal. I'm with you, Troops. I would love Ivan Toney. And I have no doubt that Victor Osimhen will be a great striker. But there's still the risk to me that he's going to come and suit this league, because I've seen so many times players that absolutely kill it and they come over to this league and you think, ain't that guy? Like, how good was Timo Werner in Germany? You thought, oh, what a baller. Chelsea have got himself an absolute killer. And
Andrei Shevchenko, who was signed from Serie A.
Yeah, but Chelsea tax on that guy, man. Chelsea killing the strike, been killing strikers, man.
Yeah. He's another one, though. Matthias Kesman went to Chelsea, absolutely killed it. Yeah. And then you have
Mutu.
The likes Adrian Mutu.
To be fair,
another
he
one.
ask himself, though, isn't it? He's an idiot.
Yeah. So there is players that have done mad things over in other leagues, yeah, and they've come here and you just think, nah, ain't happening. So listen, I'm not saying Victor Osimhen is going to be that guy, but to actually allow a player to come in who I think would be less of a risk, I think Ivan Toney is a great shout. And people will look at the higher ceiling. I don't want any higher ceiling. I want players that are ready right now to win us a title. I've got enough higher ceiling players. Yeah. I had somebody, somebody was talking to me in Turkish saying, that Evan Ferguson, you know, I think that Evan Ferguson, I'm like, in 5 years' time, he's going to be brilliant. And I'm like, I don't want 5 years' time, man. I want now. And this is the thing. When I was talking to LB and Terry yesterday, and they were saying, what do you want, a right now signing? What happens if you get Tony and let's say, I don't know, central midfielder like Onana that comes in now? Oh, then you might not get Zubimendi and Osimhen in the summer. I'm like, I just want to win a title. I don't care about what our squad looks like in 5 years' time. I just want players that can come in and do something now. And if I'm not seeing players coming and doing something now, I'm not really interested. People are sitting there going, this summer, you know, it's going to be brilliant, Dan. This summer with Zubimendi and potentially Osimhen, and we go get that centre-half from Palace. We go get this guy from Wolves, and we go get this. I don't care, man. There's actually a season. If people aren't aware, there's a season happening right now, yeah, that we want to try and win a title, want to try and win a Champions League on. True. Not give up and let's go next summer. Because for me, if there's an opportunity to go and get somebody right now, i.e. a Benzema, 6-month loan deal, yeah, pay 22 million on his wages, I'd rather do that than go and get some versatile defender. Because I was hearing yesterday from Sonny McBell that apparently we're going to be looking at another versatile defender. I don't want any of these. I don't want Edu and Arteta spending another penny on versatile centre-backs because they've messed this up completely, right? We've got somebody out who's apparently just got injured again for Real Sociedad, so everyone now thinks, that's it. That's why we can't play Kieran Tierney, because he gets injured. Zinchenko's been injured more than him. Timber's still injured, right?
Tomiyasu's been injured more than him.
Tomiyasu, another one, been injured.
Let's not even you understand. There's a hate for Tierney, blood. You get me? Like, I don't know if because it's an Emery sign. You know what? I think because it's an Emery signing. You get me? They don't want to give Emery no credit. You understand? And credit is due to Emery because Emery put Saka forward. Emery gave fucking Smith Rowe his debut. Emery signed fucking Martinelli. Emery signed Saliba.
And
what are we talking about, blood? So, you understand? So,
and then he doesn't fit our system. He can't play inverted. Listen,
Until
if
you
you've
rock
got
up
a
at
manager
Anfield,
who
isn't it?
can only play inverted, your coach can
Right.
only play an inverted left back. How about the coach uses another dimension? How about the coach has a plan B? How about the coach allows one of your fullbacks to actually beat his man?
You see, if I had a
take him
button,
on
I'd
and
just be
cross
like,
it in?
Pause.
bombs. I'd just be letting off
Honestly,
bombs if I had a button, blood.
it's crazy, bro. So listen, last thing I'll say, man, if we actually spend more money, say we got 25 million or something like that, we spend that on another versatile defender, I will not question what the fucking hell is going on with our recruitment. Because for me, when you've already spent that money on players like Cedric Suarez, on players like Pablo Mari, on players like Lokonga, on players like Nun Tavares, on players like Kieran Tierney, who's now being sent out on loan, and you're now looking to buy on Jacob Kiwior, and you're now looking to play money on another verse. How many guys? This guy's had 6 goalkeepers in his 4 years, and now he wants another 6 left backs. It's like a try before you buy. Oh, we'll just give him a bit of a trial. That one ain't worked. Got another 20 million. Nah, that one ain't worked. You got another 20 million. We need a centre forward. If we spend 20 million on a versatile defender, and we could have put that wages towards Benzema, what is the better signing? Benzema, he's a killer. The last, I don't care if he's 105. Yeah, I'm putting him in up there and ahead of the players that we've got. Eddie Nketiah and Havertz over this guy. Let's be real, man. Like it's honestly crazy. If that recruitment happens, bro, honest, I'll tell you this, boys. I'm just gonna be scratching my head even more. And this guy's won awards, by the way, Edu.
That never lets us forget that, you know.
Blood is no, I say it all the time as well. Like, how the fuck are you winning awards, yeah? And then you're the reason why we're in FFP. Because you can't sell players and you spent all of this money on, let's be real, blood. Absolute shit. Yeah. We are in these problems now, blood. Because before that, we weren't in FFP problems. There was never FFP problem.
Then we
It
moved to
was-
the Emirates to not have these issues. So
You
again, it's
understand?
a case of resources, like you said with Edu and Arteta. Like I've been saying on my channel, like obviously we've never all quite been KSE, you know, their biggest fans. But in the last 18 months, any successes or failures have been down to Edu and Arteta. They found 65 million for Havertz. As Dan said, you know, we've had a gazillion goalkeepers. We've got a lot of defenders. I must admit, though, as much as I would love an Osimhen, and Ivan Toney, a Vlahovic, and I think, you know, where we should be focusing our efforts in the ideal world should be another winger, should be a striker. And for me, central midfield, I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit nervous about our lack of defensive options, man. Like, I hear all of this Timber back, Tomiyasu back. Zinchenko scares me, if I'm quite honest with you. Kiwior, I like him, but he's very hit and miss. If we could get someone of the Timber Tomiyasu ilk, I'd be content with that. But I'm with you, look, like we should be looking into this period talking about a striker. Kind of when you go back to around September, we was talking about January and said a striker takes this to the next level. If you have a Tony, I don't think it necessarily harms anybody's game time because, you know, Martinelli and Jesus can both play out wide. Saka's the big dog. You could obviously take him off and let him recharge mentally. I think a striker is a big miss. You know, Mikel Arteta speaks about, you know, being a team that gets 100 odd goals. We're not going to get that from this team. As you said, Troops, at the start, our top goal scorers in the league got 5 or 6. Now, where do you place the blame? Do you place the blame on the players or do you place the blame on the man assembling the squad? He also more or less alluded to the fact that what them man did last season in terms of scoring goals was an anomaly. So you sat there in August and maybe if you got a striker, maybe if you got another attacker, we might have more goals on the board and turn some defeats into draws and some draws into 3 points. So, you know, Arteta has to face the music, good and bad, man. We've gone away from blaming KSE. Even with Edu, if I'm completely honest, obviously he has to take a lot of the blame. But I look at it and say, you know what, Edu, I wish you was a bit more experienced. I wish you obviously could, you know, put your foot down a bit more. But obviously, when we all look at the dynamics, Mikel Arteta is the head honcho in that backroom staff. So while I don't agree with Edu, if he has won the battle and fought the case of signing Havertz and you brought in Kai Havertz, you've done your job, which is why I relay the blame of everything, just like with the successes, if there's any, with Mikel Arteta, because it does feel like with our club, we make things harder than it needs to be. We create more holes in our team than we need to be. And when there's a chance to really get closer to Liverpool and City, which was there in the summer, we haven't really did that. Fair enough, Timber, massive injury. He was going to be a hit. He is a hit. Declan Rice, mustard wherever he goes. Kai Havertz, don't see really what he brings into the midfield beyond the obvious. And we all talk about this Declan Rice playing in the 8 role. When is he going to get the opportunity to really do that as long as our midfield isn't fixed? And we spoke about it last time with Kai Havertz in that left 8. I think there's a correlation between him, Zinchenko, or Martinelli not doing the business. We have not replaced Xhaka or enhanced on the replacement for Xhaka. So any successes or else, Arteta's got to face the music, man. The gloves are off now, really, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
man.
facts, man. Facts. You know what as well, right? Just quickly, Troops, like this whole striker situation, like some people that haven't watched Arsenal, like that dates back to the 80s or 90s, won't know this, but we have always had right?
A top
At
striker.
least,
Big boy striker,
you
yeah.
know what? It's
At least
mad.
one gunman.
And do you know what? There's sometimes been
Fact.
3 or 4. Yeah, when I grew up on Alan Smith. I grew up on Ian Wright. It was Kevin Campbell and Paul Merson. Then we went into the Wenger era, and we had most of our time with Bergkamp, Henry, Kanu, Wiltord. Then we moved to the Emirates, and we had Adebayor, Van Persie,
Even just
and
before that,
Eduardo.
we had like flipping Christopher Ray, who'd actually come off and do.
Here you go. In '98, we had Christopher Ray,
You
Nicholas
understand?
Anelka,
Anelka and them, man.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Now
now-
you go into
Below
the
Wright and
Emirates era.
Bergkamp, like, come on, bro.
And now,
Yeah, you go onto the Emirates era, and you
course.
had them 3, and then it started to go a little bit downhill, right? Under Wenger, we never really had. We went to this different formation, which is probably a big change of it, with only one up top, and it was either Van Persie, it was Olivier Giroud, we had Aubameyang. Since then, since Arteta's come in,
or even Giroud, if we had them in the squad, that just tells you how far we've fallen off. Like Giroud's a
does,
decent
bro.
player, but I would bite your arm off for Giroud at this moment in time in that squad, man. It's peak right now
100%.
for us.
And this is the thing, like, don't get me wrong, we've had some bad strikers in that times as well, yeah. The Nicholas Bentners and the Yaya Sonogos and the Franny Jeffers of this world. But when you look at it, yeah, Marwan
Shamak, the
Shamak,
original dream seller.
Park too young.
Oh, Park.
That was a marketing sign. It had to be,
Park
man.
too young, blood. Man played
Park.
one fucking League Cup game, blood.
Even
About
that.
number 9. How fucking dare you?
That was a marketing thing, man. He
Ah,
probably
fucking-
sold
I'm
some
sure.
shirts.
I'm sure, like, he was a hologram or cardboard
Yeah,
cutout.
man,
Real
he's not a
talk,
real
lad.
person. That's AI before its time, man.
Midfielders like fucking Bischoff.
Romari Biscoff. I remember that.
Remember them
What a
fucking
dream seller.
bums there, blood.
Yeah,
Even
Nacer
like my man said
Parasite,
there,
Ahmad
Sano as
Nodbet.
well.
Yeah.
We stopped
Asano,
being
yeah,
30 up
Asano.
front when we lost Aubameyang and to a degree Alexis when he went through the 9 as well. Like, and I don't understand how, like, even if you're a younger fan and you've seen, like, let's say Aubameyang, like, you've seen someone that's going to be up there for the goals, you've got a taste of that pause. Don't you want to go back to that? Like, there's no way escaping this unless you've got Mo Salah that's getting crazy numbers. We need a striker, bro.
This
We
guy's a
need striker.
weirdo. Aubameyang literally is the reason why you have a trophy.
This is it. And people talk
then
about,
you don't wanna play with a
Trossard
main
can play up
out-and-out
there and all
striker.
this stuff. It's not going to get us out the hood, man. It's all
Do you
right.
know what?
but
It's not even
gonna get us
about.
there.
It's not even about the fact that, like, he got rid of Aubameyang. Oh, he had to go. He was toxic. Cool. I don't care about that debate. You have that all day long. For me, replace him, and we haven't. Yeah, we haven't
Yeah, you
replaced
have it then.
Aubameyang. And when I said this on the stream last night, we had Pepe, Lacazette, Aubameyang. All 3 were deemed not good enough. That's fine. Who are you going to go and get to replace him? We've replaced Pepe with Reece Nelson. We've replaced Lacazette with Eddie Nketiah, and we've replaced Aubameyang with Jesus. Come on, man. So is this for real? And we're wondering why we're not actually scoring goals. Now, don't get me wrong. People will say, but Saka and Martinelli have replaced. No, they were playing alongside some of those players we've just mentioned, right? They were playing behind them at the time. We've now upgraded with the Saka and Martinelli thing. But the Pepe signing, who was the one that we couldn't get in the side, he's been upgraded with Reece Nelson. Lacazette, who was getting in and, let's be fair, stinking out the joint in certain games, has been replaced with Eddie Nketiah. This is mad. This is crazy. So this is when people say to me, do you think we need a striker? Or do you... Come on, man. Of course we need a striker. Jesus Christ.
We need many things, man. It really, if we want to be
ain't just a
serious
striker, by the
about
way. I'm
this,
with you, yeah.
like, bro, we need a winger. And that's even with you with the Nelson thing. Like, obviously, every manager sells dreams, tells a bit of lies and things. And you can't just look at the numbers. But when Arteta talks about, yeah, I like Nelson and this, that, and the other, I'm sure I checked the other day, he's played 87 minutes of Premier League football. Now, what? We're 19, 20, 21 games in. You don't potentially trust him. Now, if we look at it up until we got to the Crystal Palace game, Saka and Martinelli weren't doing the business. So had we have got a Pedro Neto or all of these sort of guys, we might be doing better, really. And again, I don't know what the club did or didn't try to do in August. I'll give them that. But at the same time, it's a results-driven business. I think there's a lot of romance around certain players and taking us all to the promised land. And football is romantic. But once the gloves are off and it's ugly, like we're entering that period, you need guys that can do the job. And how many players in our team can you bet your life on? You know, they're really, you know, if they have a bad day, it's a really one-off. We've got a decent amount of players. We've got players that can turn it on for 4 or 5 games. But for the remaining 10 plus games in the league right now, who's really going to make the difference, really and truly? And as much as I like what Arteta is doing, it sounds silly because at this moment in time, I don't think we get enough from our fullbacks. I think we've dropped off a cliff defensively. We've all alluded to the fact that we're struggling to score goals. We more case last season, but was talking about when there's a lack of creativity, Zinchenko's not doing the business. And I do think people underestimate what Xhaka gave to this team, wanting the ball, running in behind and things. So it's like, what did you see, Arteta? Like, Arteta, how have we got better, really and truly? And this is what I mean by we're making things harder than it needs to be for us. I can't comprehend football to the scale of them man in the professional game, but as an ignorant fan, I can't make light of this. And this is the issue what we have. We take players that, even going back to, because I mentioned Giroud. Giroud's decent in the squad if you're not relying on him. But when you try and put him as the main man, you're going to struggle. When you've got Eddie and Nketiah, arguably your first, second choice striker, I like the guy, but ultimately you're not going to do the business. And it's not really even fair to the young players. And this is where Arteta has been very naive and everyone else in that regards, man. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
They're saying there's a meeting. They're saying there's a meeting with Benzema today. And it's us, United, Chelsea.
Man need to hold shirts, so I don't care. I'll be honest. Like, I'm happy to do the clickbait content and stuff like that, but until you're holding shirts, forget it, man. Well, you said it earlier, Troops. It's 24th.
And this was from like a good source as well. It's that Z guy on Twitter.
Big him up, but bro, hold the shirts.
I bet he goes Chelsea, man. I bet he goes Chelsea. Out of them three, they'll just spend. They'll say what
United off. Now United need a striker though as well, bro.
But even if we get Benzema, even if we get Benzema, like obviously his wages are a mad thing. It's going to be a serious loan fee. We've heard that FFP is an issue. Then we have that sort of money to vacate on a player that, as great as I would like, Benzema ain't gonna be. It don't make sense.
Not spent. We not spent. We had a bid turned down for that. 25 mil.
Yeah,
there's money there.
Who?
That Mayoral guy from Getafe, centre forward.
Yeah, the Getafe youth.
So there's bread there, isn't it? So like, buy 30 guys, man. Like, I can't make sense of this, man. I really wish I was a fly on the wall inside London Coley Stadium, training ground, because it don't make sense to me. Like, if we got Benzema, I'll be happy, I'll be gassed up. It gives me an option, but then it kind of goes against what's been reported, really. And if we're talking about saving money and things like that, as great as Benzema is, he's not going to be here next season. So do I say that's a race of resources? If we go win the league, great. But this is what I mean about inconsistencies around the club. It's not making sense, bro. Bring him down.
Zubimendi, they're saying
bring him.
They're saying it's close. They're saying he's close to agreeing a deal. It's very, very close, apparently.
What, this month, though?
Nah, summer, blood. That's what I'm saying, man.
Everything's summer.
Everything's fucking summer, bro.
I don't want to hear nothing about summer, man, because the season's still going on, bro.
Nah, Zubimendi is a baller.
He's a baller, but you can't kick a ball for Arsenal until August, innit? So it don't really matter if you're signing for the club, bro.
This is us all over. We're like, right, let's look at the summer. Hang on, there's a season going on. What's happening here? Like, I just don't.
And then he gets awards.
And we're fighting, and we're fighting against it as well. Because let's be honest, silverware is very unlikely at this club. Like with the Premier champs, we're up against it really. Just a few months ago, we were saying we don't fear anyone but Real Madrid and things. Life has come at us very quick. Our season's in the balance. It's down to the club, and this is where I ask. Like, obviously, the club will probably say, you know what, we finished second last year. If we get top three, we're becoming competitive. Are they as demanding as us fans to say, listen, there's an opportunity to grab a league title? Man United and Chelsea are inconsistent. This is what I'm saying.
They got the money. Top four, they got their money in it. That's what they want.
This is it. No, the team's still growing and all of this stuff. I hear it, but we saw it the early days at the Emirates when a couple of these players, they're all young and impressionable and they got a platform. When they played for a bit, they might say, you know what, I love the club, but I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to do this, and then it's another rebuild and the cycle continues, man. It's absolutely crazy, man.
This era is very similar to like the Fabregas Nasri era, where we're just like 2 signings away from greatness.
We're flirting with it.
They just want to we're gonna fuck about. We're gonna come this close, pause, and then we're just gonna plot right here now, innit? Yeah, top 4, don't worry about that, man. 13 league titles this month.
What's mad, right, is you say about that, and you're spot on with it, right? Because I've said this a few times. This is the 3rd time that we've done this youth thing. We had the Fabregas Van Persie thing, and you mentioned the Nasri thing. Obviously, after that, when they'd left and got the hump, they had the Wilshere and Ramsey and Oxlade-Chamberlain and Walcott and Jenkinson and Gibbs, where they're all lined up signing contracts. That didn't work out. We're now in the third situation of this. So if we have Saka, Saliba, Ødegaard, Martinelli all lined up, in 4 years' time, when we're in the situation that we've previously been in the last 2 youth projects, Saliba's going to be at Real Madrid, Saka's going to be at Man City, Martinelli's going to go and ball out in Barcelona, and the rest is history. And it's like, what was that 5 years all about? And this is where I'm at. This season is the last season for me to be worrying about processes and projects. If this does not work out for us, and we get into the top 4, and we get bumped out of all the competitions, including losing to Porto in the next couple of weeks, I'm going a different route, and I don't want any more youth projects. I don't want any more De Zerbis or even Javi Alonso's, anyone coming in. I want Don Carlo coming in, or I want Simeone coming in, or I want Hansi Flick coming in and going and winning now with this team. Because this team is not bad. I don't look at this team and go, God, they are clueless.
Just needs 1-2 tweaks, man.
With few tweaks, maybe 4 players that Hans Flick can come and bring in, or Simeone, Carlo Ancelotti, whatever you want. Somebody that has a CV that says, I win. It might not be that you haven't won for 3 years, like people will say with Simeone. Yeah? He hasn't won with Atletico Madrid for 3 years. Cool. But he's won with them before. Their CV says, I win. Yeah. And so does Carlo Ancelotti's, and so does Hans Flick. So for me, I look at those type of managers. And you know what? Guess what? In 18 months, it don't work. You go and get somebody else. Because it ain't about this sentimental keeping managers for 7 years and it will come good one day. Nah, man, go win now. Because
we both know Arteta's about to get a new deal, man. He's going to get a new deal.
We're stuck with him, man. There's no point talking about it.
I like Arteta, but you need to help yourself, man. And the gloves are off now. The rebuild, one love. Since the moment you've walked through the door, you've rebuilt the club and all of that jazz. Now the conversation is, can you win us a league title or like put some respect in our name? That's where the area is very grey, really and truly. And that's where I look at the club. Go on.
I think Arteta's our Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, but people say that, but like, come on, man, put a bit more respect on Mikel Arteta slightly, man. Slightly, man. He deserves a bit more than that, man. Like, what did Rodgers really do for Liverpool, really? Apart from he dragged Sterling's name through the mud. I hear it. Do you know what? If Arteta's the man to rebuild and you get a next one love, because I don't have no allegiance to Arteta or anyone else.
Exactly that.
That's what fans forget, bro. And I watch Dan's channel half the time, and there's very much, Mikel Arteta out, or Arteta sexuals. Yeah, bro. Bro, we support Arsenal. If he's the guy, he's the guy. If he's not the guy, start again. 100%. I want to be wrong with a lot of these things because it means my club is going to be lit. But boy,
and let's be real. If it does go wrong, right? Would you rather keep Arteta and go, right, okay, change the players because they haven't won it, go and get some more players? Or would you rather say, right, keep this squad, let it grow and give a winning mentality, elite manager the chance to take this club forward? You're going to go down that route. You ain't keeping Arteta and telling him to cut the team again. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is an Arsenal football club that should never, ever be keeping hold of managers for too long. We did it with Wenger, right? But then with Emery, off you go. See you later. Now with this guy, it's like, we're going to have to keep him. We're going to have to keep... No, we don't. If
it's
things
a two-way street with Arteta as well, Dan, in the sense of what we need to remember, what fans don't forget is like, this is Arteta's first job. Like we kind of done him a favor giving him this. So with great power comes great responsibility, man. Like, and obviously money's been spent. I don't really care about how much you spent, but you need to really deliver now. And I think you've done a lot of good, but you've shanked a lot of the money, like the Kai Havertz signing, the Willian thing didn't work out, giving Aubameyang a new deal and then tearing it up. Yes, I'm saying these things without context, but we're making things harder than it needs to be. I'm not asking him to get every signing right, but then you look at Fabio Vieira and Havertz. Could you have got 2 more organic central midfielders in their places and we would have been helped, really? I'm not too sure. As Dan said, we've had a lot of keepers and a lot of defenders. I think when everybody's fit, if everybody's fit, there's decent options there. But that ifs and when do you actually see that throughout a season? Because I do think us Arsenal fans get into this trap of thinking injuries are just unique to this football club. And I feel we keep saying the same things. Oh, when Partey's back, we'll do all right. When Tomiyasu's back. And I love them players. But we've seen this movie before. How much times are we going to expect a different ending? Why can't we be a tiny bit more proactive in that regards? I don't know, man.
Drone Nation says, your thoughts on Standards FC? All hail. And he's just laughing. What are the standards, though?
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
I used to know. I used to know what they were, but I don't know anymore. You know, when you're celebrating getting 4th place and you're running around roundabouts, that ain't a bit of me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, getting in the top 4 is an absolute, like...
running around roundabouts.
You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. The fan base so crazy sometimes. I'm like, did you see we're back in the Champions League? Yeah, what did we set Wenger for then? He did it 20 years in a row. Like, what was the point of that?
Did we not pull out banners because we were tired of top 4?
Did we not march down Hornsey Road because we come 2nd to Leicester? And now all of a sudden we come 8th and 5th, and it's like, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. This is unbelievable progress.
Because it's all vested agendas, man. It's all vested agendas, man.
It's absolute crazy, man. So yeah, the standards are on the floor, but they have been for a while, Troops. I look at it now and I'm thinking, for me, I grew up watching Man United and Arsenal going at it. Yeah, I look at both the clubs now. It's actually embarrassing for what it was. Right now, we're starting to lift ourselves back up and start to compete again, which is great. You can't say the same for Manchester United, whose standards really are on the floor, by the way. Absolute madness what's going on over there, right? So it could be a lot worse. But I look at it right now and I think, right, what are we actually going to be celebrating? And people say that, you know, it's an elite mentality that Mikel Arteta has got. He's not showing elite mentality for me. I don't see elite mentality. I see a lot of in-game management that's poor. If it was elite mentality, it would be ruthless to players like Eddie Nketiah and ruthless to Reece Nelson and say, do you know what, lads, I love the fact you've got us back into the Champions League. We're now going for a title. I wish you all the best to a great career, but go Wolves and Palace. It will sort you out. You'll manage to get into the first team and have a good career. But he doesn't. He hangs on to it because it's sentimental value. The Helen boys, they can do it. They can be with us. What a journey it'll be. What a story. What a fairy tale. Sometimes you've actually just got to say, let's go and actually win now. And none of this process stuff. Because otherwise, when does the process finish? You know, I ask this question. No one can tell me. No one knows when this process ends.
No one can honestly tell you, man. Even if you trust the process and you understand the concerns with Mikel Arteta, there's how long's a rope or something like that, man. Like, you don't know how long it is. You know, I think the club are happy to be back in the Champions League, happy to see their team, quote unquote, being competitive in the top three, happy to see year-on-year development with the young players. But in terms of a Premier League title, I think they would like to win it. I don't think they were dying to win it. Or, you know, again, obviously there's FFP in, or whatever they say in sort of discussion, but we wouldn't be sitting, or in fact, we might be sitting here on Troops' channel and having a very different conversation at this moment in time with certain signings. But it is what it is. You know, Ivan Toney, any given opportunity, any platform that listens is saying, I want to move, I want to leave and things. I personally think they're going to kind of, you know, dot I's and cross T's and kind of get that sorted in the summer and maybe explore other options. But the summer really doesn't matter because the season's going to be been undone and we start again, and a bit of optimism for next year. But well, I don't know. And even the language around that is starting to change around, you know what, next season is where we really fight for the title. And hey, like we saw last season compared to this, the dynamics in 2 seasons are not alike, man. So, well, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Let's just hope for the best and prepare for the worst, innit?
Zirkzee. What's his name? Zirkzee. I don't even know. Like Joshua Zirkzee, one black youth. Apparently 50 million euros has been put aside for him to go for him in the summer. Now, talking on standards, yeah. Who
Summer again
is this guy? Number one, yeah. Why are we trying to sign a guy that I've never heard of, bro? Like, never heard of him, bro. Joshua,
like 12 league goals as well. Like.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, we're here saying Osimhen, saying Tone, saying Vlahovic, and now I'm hearing 50 million euros is being put aside.
It's just the same summer rhetoric, bro. Like, we're doing everything in the summer. We're signing everyone in the summer. Like, is as good as he may or may not be, he's irrelevant because he's not going to help us right now. I think he's in his early 20s. I think this is his first year where he's got double figures. Listen, if he signed for the club, I hope he'd be elite and stuff. But again, you're putting expectations on shoulders of players that may not be able to carry the mantelpiece. Like, I kind of want a striker that's going to do this right now. I don't mind a lot of the development strikers we're linked with, but it's now about improving our starting 11 significantly in the vein that, in hindsight, Saliba did, what Declan Rice did, you know, in hindsight, what Odegaard did. We need that striker that can do all of that. And can he do that at this moment in time? I don't know. I'm sure they're convinced if they have really put 50 odd million aside, but where's this money coming from? And we're literally signing everybody in the summer. You know, Onana, Luiz, Zubimendi, the Zirkzee guy. We're going for Tony. Bro, we're going to have the littest summer ever, really and truly, if this all happens. But it's all irrelevant, as Dan's saying, like, from now till May. Like, we've got what we've got. And, you know, we can talk about new signings as much as we want. You know, Mikel Arteta has got to make it work with his existing options. As that man himself says, I've got to maximize my existing players. And are we doing that right now? I hope the Palace game shows we're going to go on a run of form and stuff. You know, the narrative could change if we beat Nottingham Forest and get something away from Liverpool. But it's put up or shut up season now for the players, for the gaffer, for everyone, man. Your season's hanging on by a thread. So get with it,
what's
man.
funny as well? What's hilarious to me, right? A couple of seasons ago, we were linked with players and everyone was saying, oh, come on, calm. We ain't going to get them in the Champions League. Wait till we get Champions League, then the world-class players come around. We build a youth project and then we sprinkle gold dust on top of that youth project with world-class players. And we link with Joshua Zirkzee and Mayoral. What the hell's going on? These are not players that excite me, right? Don't get me wrong. I love the Declan Rice sign and I want more of that, right? And if we're going in the summer and we link with Osimhen and we link with Ivan Toney and we link with players like Chouameni or we link with De Jong, that's the sort of players I expect to be linked with. May not get them, some people might not want some of them, right? But they're the names I expect us to be linked with, not just Joshua Zirkzee and Jorel Harto from Ajax. These are not players that I've got, I hope we go and get them. because that takes us to the next level. Now, I like Zubimendi, and I actually think he would be a good player, but I don't look at the Zubimendi signing and think, right, that's a title. Go and get him and we're ready. There's a lot more we need, yeah, but the players we're being linked with. Joshua Zirkzee, let me just bring his stats up here. I've got him in front of me. He's played 19 games and he scored 7 goals. And the previous season, before that, he played in 19 matches, 2 goals, 2 assists. I don't look at him and go, wow, this is going to...
Bro, Nketiah's got more fucking goals than him.
That's what I'm saying. So we're linked with a player that Nketiah is outscoring. Like, come on, man. Like, this is mad. So this must be rubbish. I just hope it's rubbish for me. Like, because that would not excite me whatsoever, bro.
Can't really afford to keep doing this gambling thing. Like, don't get it twisted. Nobody loves unknown signings that turn out great, you know, better than expected, more than me. But we kind of need to get, not every signing presents a risk, but we need confirmed talent. You're confirmed kind of right now. If you bring in these players, then by all means, Mikel Arteta, sign as many kids and develop them as you want, really. But now it's about time for proven winners or experience or mentality monsters. And again, people that move the needle and give us real confidence for fighting for a league title and things like that. And half of the names we're linked with for January, it's not really that. You know, we've been linked with Solanke and these things. I doubt that because he's having his first standout season. But yeah, it's not really positive, man. When we're not getting the most out of our existing players, when no players have come in, the summer talk is irrelevant, broskies. Like, doesn't excite me at all, man. Maybe in the summer, you know, great. But there's a lot of football to be played, man. We've played, what, 20, 21 games? Use what you got in it. Let's just hope Arteta and Eddie can pull a rabbit out the hat, man.
Does Walker Peters move the needle?
Nah.
Does he improve us defensively?
I mean, he's got to be better than Kiwior at left back, but that's not really hard at this moment in time. You know, again, a body, he's just a body, bro. It's just a body coming into the club, really and truly, in case something happens. But nah.
Do you know what? You know what I will say? Like, big up to Kyle Walker-Peters because I think he had a really good season last season for Southampton. He's been one of their better players in the last few years. But for me, when I was looking at talking to fans from other clubs, he was a player I looked at for potentially somebody like Palace, West Ham, maybe even somebody a little bit better than that. Maybe if you're going to next level. But for a title, Walker-Peters, it doesn't excite me. Like I say, bro. He's a good player. He's all right. I think he's probably a good option for Arsenal to have other than nobody. Yeah, and he can play right and left. But is that going to take, like you say, move the needle? Not for me, man. Not for me. So, I don't know. This link is a bit of a strange one. I've always quite liked him.
They're saying keep an eye on it as well. Like, they're saying like this is the one that might happen because obviously we're trying to get reinforcements defensively. And they're saying that this is the one that...
How much is he going to be then?
Apparently, it's a loan. If we try to purchase, it's going to be like 18 million, 20 million.
Wait,
and that's the kind of money that we've been throwing around bidding for players. So it could happen, blood.
Is Southampton going to loan him though?
That's why I think it's going to have to. We'd have to probably pay them the 20.
We have to give him.
I think Arsenal want a loan, but I think they're probably only because he's like played well for them this season as well. They're like on a fucking promotion push as well.
Absolutely flying they are.
Yeah, Southampton are doing their thing, like, so they wouldn't really want to get rid of him as well. Me personally, like, I've never really rated him, blood. Like, even like when he was at Tottenham, I didn't really rate. He's rapid. He is rapid, but
yeah, he is.
I do agree with Deluded saying that he will be better than Kiwior at left back. But when you got Timber coming back, you got Tomiyasu fit, you got flipping the crybaby there as well. Do we need a Kyle Walker-Peters, blood? I don't think so, fam. You get me? Maybe he's coming in because they're saying that Taveres might go to Marseille. And even Kiwior, they're saying that Kiwior, he's open to return to Serie A this month on a loan deal.
There must be some legs to it, because Cedric's on the peripheral things, but like I don't think we'd let Cedric go just in terms of him being a body and him actually playing in the Champions League if someone else wasn't coming in. But you never know with this club, really, man. You just never know. But yeah, don't move the needle at all.
I just can't believe we're in this situation. I can't believe we're actually talking about January transfer window, trying to swap a few defenders, score goals. I think it's mad, bro. Like, literally, it's mad. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for bringing players in to give squad depth, right? But if we're talking about letting Cedric go and bringing in Kyle Walker-Peters, or potentially letting Kiwior go and then bringing somebody in from, you know, I don't know, unknown centre half, I'm like, that's all lovely and all that, but what are we doing elsewhere because for me, there's so many holes still, man. Like, our midfield still isn't built correctly, right? There's only really Declan Rice that can go in and do any form of box-to-box role. Up top, we're still short because we've got Eddie. Out wide, we're still short because we've got Reece. And then we're talking about Kyle Walker-Peters coming in. It's mad, bro. And Zirkzee.
The depth, yeah. The depth is piss poor.
Awful.
There's no strength in depth. You see, City got a starting 11, and then they've got like 5 bad boy subs. Yeah. And then the rest are them and the goalkeeper. But they have 5 bad boy subs that will come on and change the game.
And when they make changes, there's not a drop-off in quality. You take a couple of our players out, we're not functioning the same way at all.
It's Titanic, bro. The team just goes.
You take Rice Saliba out of this team, boy.
Yeah, facts. Man. Absolutely.
Michael Phelps, bro, man, I dive in head first.
There's a lot of players, unfortunately, in our team that can play in a bunch of roles, but what are they? And this is the issue, man.
Who?
Oh, you've got Zinchenko's obviously a left back by convenience. You got Kiwior, you got Havertz, you got Fabio Vieira. These guys can play in roles, but like, what do they thrive at? Like, what is your God-given role first? And then the others, technically Gabriel Jesus as well. We know he's a striker, but he can play out wide. What do they do really? There's a lot of projects in and around the team, and I'm all for projects and development and things, but that's with the youth thing in mind. If you're looking at winning a league title, you need confirmation over things. You need answers. And these haven't been provided by the club or by how we've assembled this squad, really and truly. Like Dan said, you look in our central midfield. I like Jorginho, but Jorginho's not someone that I can bet on for 10 games. Declan Rice I can, but he's not Superman. And there's going to be a time, probably like Fulham, where typically Saliba, Rice, they're up here, the players are down here. You're going to drop to their level. We're in issues. Even Jesus, even though the fact that he can't score, we know what he gives us. If he's out the team, we're kind of fucked. It's crazy. Who knows how Saka would look if we pulled him out as well and put him back in? Refreshed.
Do you think Saka needs to be dropped?
Dropped, Harsh. Because you drop him, who do you put in? And at the same time, I think
you move Jesus to the right, and then you
that could run. I think Saka just needs to recharge mentally, bro. Like
that's what I'm saying. You're not like, because like he's not like, let's be real, he's not pulling down trees, blood. You understand? We scored 5 goals, and you get me, the only impact, the only part he played in one of the goals was crossing in the corner.
We've run the man into the ground, man. Like we've run.
I don't blame him, I blame Arteta, because there's times when we're fucking 3-4-0 up and fucking Saka's still on the 80th minute. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Even when he's limping, Arteta ain't taking him off.
You get me? He's like, come on, Saka, win your fucking jewels. Win your fucking jewels.
This is where I think, had he got a Neto or one of them guys or Rafinha once upon a time, thank God we didn't, maybe Saka gets dropped out of the team. And this is what I mean by Mikel Arteta. Do you really trust these players? Reece Nelson, I'm not saying he's bad, I'm not saying he's good. 87 Premier League minutes with 20 odd games. That tells me you don't trust the Donny. You know, fair enough, you've got Trossard in and around, but this is the problems we're in, man. This is what I mean by we make our own issues as well.
Listen, it worked with Martinelli at the weekend, right? You got to kick out the backside and come on, and he was like, boom, and he looked different. Maybe the same thing needs to happen to Saka. Maybe you do move Jesus out wide, and if you do want to play Trossard or you don't want to play Trossard, maybe you play Havertz or Nan or Eddie or whatever you want to do, right? And then you bring on Saka, and you think, boy, that's what he needed. You know, a kick up the backside. But he won't do it. He absolutely in love with playing him for 90 minutes every game. It's bizarre, man.
And maybe he's just in a terrible run of form. It happens to players, because there was, you go back a few months ago, Saka was kind of playing how he is now, but he was getting goals and assists. And we was due this. For how many years has Saka played with an unnormal amount of consistency for our team? Like, we put too much weight on his shoulders, really. And this is what I mean. If that's the youth project, cool. But if we're looking at being a Premier League champions and whatnot, you're looking at him to be Salah and them kind of man there. He's not able to do that yet, as great as he is. Like, you need to really perform week in, week out. And it's not fair for Saka, really, if I'm honest, man. I'll always defend Saka. I find it hard to criticize him. He is the star boy. I'm not going to lie. If I was Arteta, I'll probably play him week in, week out. But this is where you need to assemble the squad. And, I don't know this, but 65 million, could that have been spent in other areas? Could that have got you a Kudus and a cheaper
No. You do know this. We do know. We do, lad. We fucking do.
You know what? You're right still. We
do.
Because Kudus would have been lit. It would have been lit.
We could have got Kudos and Madison for the price of Kai fucking Havertz.
In the summer, would 65 even got you Douglas Luiz? I don't know, but we was linked to him the summer before.
That 65 could have even gone to Tone in the January window. Because for me, at the start of the season, when we didn't get a striker, I was like, all right, cool. If we can stay competing and in the title race up until January, go get Tone and bring him into this squad, and then we'll fucking kick on. He can play in the Champions League because he's not cup tied. If we're in the FA Cup, obviously we're not. He can play a part in that. Not a fucking Arsenal Football Club. You understand? These men are on fucking millions a year getting fucking awards for doing fuck all, blood. They're getting awards for wiping their ass, blood. What the fuck?
It's mad, bro. You know what's mad as well, right? You got Havertz and Vieira that cost £100 million together.
Throw Lokonga into that as well, bro.
And Lokonga. And I think it was you, Troops, saying we spent nearly 300 million on our midfield. Or was that Curtis?
Yeah, we spent. We've spent nearly 300 million, and Klopp spent 380 million to win the Champions League and the Premier League. Arteta spent nearly 700 million, and he's won a fucking FA Cup, blood. And Klopp had a worse team than what Arteta took over, blood. But they tried to compare this whole Klopp Arteta thing. But let me just tell you about that one, blood. You see my baseball bat? Bow! There that goes, blood. You understand?
That's mad, you know. Comparing an elite winner who just won something at Dortmund to a player who's just come off the bench at Pepsi.
Didn't he win 2 league titles at Dortmund?
Yeah, league titles at Dortmund. Obviously successful at Mainz as well. I look at it and I think, how can you even compare the two? It took Klopp 3 years. Exactly. How long is it going to take this guy then?
That's the difference with experience.
And remember, Klopp's got to 3 Champions League finals.
Facts.
That's the difference with experience, man.
Liverpool have been to the Champions League final 3 times with Klopp, bro. They've been to the Europa League as well. They've been to the Europa League final, the FA Cup final, the League Cup final. They've won the league. They've won a Champions League. Come on, bro. What finals have we been to? When have we got to a fucking semi-final, blood?
And Klopp in his first full year at Liverpool got Liverpool Champions League football. We're 4 years in and we've only just got it now. It
took Arteta fucking 400 million and fucking 4 years to get get Champions League football.
This comparison is mad. I don't get it. I've never understood it. Never understood it.
Big up Ethan. He says, like I told DG, we need Tony. I'm with you, Ethan, my brother. You understand? We need dark art.
I'm with that.
We need dark art specialists, aka bastards at the carpet. I loved he moved that ball for the free kick over the weekend. Very true, blood. Like I saw a clip of Onana defending his Everton colleagues, him and Decore. Now that's what Arsenal players should be doing when man trying to kick up Saka, blood. You understand? You should be like, come on, bro. You think when Pires was getting kicked up, Vieira wasn't going out there and swiping man. Gilberto wasn't going out there and kicking down man.
Name a Premier League team, a Champions League winning team that's won stuff being nice guys, bro, to age your point, Troops. Invincibles were nasty. Chelsea team's been nasty. We're not going to get to where we want to go being nice guys. I love the family aspect and all of this, but they have
nice
to be
guys finish last, bro.
Finish last, bro. Last. Women don't even like nice guys, so we need to learn from this.
You know what I mean?
Really need to be bastards.
Big up LJ Brown, my brother. He says, Truth's best thing about Jaden's move is you're no longer getting those bad perf.
He's talking about the
bad performance tweets. I had to read it because it went into the second. I was like, perf, what? Performance tweets anymore. But yeah, these men need to sign. These men need to sign to win a trophy. I think that as well, blood. I don't think this squad's capable of winning a trophy. Like, I'm not. If we went into the rest of the season with this squad, I'll tell you lot straight, we ain't winning the league, and we definitely win the Champions League, bro. So forget about Champions League, yeah.
Season over.
We are not winning the league. Yeah, the season's done. If the window closes on February 1st and there's no additions, bruv, season's done, blood. You get me? Like,
just have to hope the footballing gods are kind to us if that's the case, man. Which Arsenal ain't got that.
When have we ever had that, blood?
Yeah, bro. It's quite depressing, really.
Big up, Love United, hate the ops. He says, hi, I know this is Arsenal chat, but as rivals, thoughts on United potentially getting Benzema now that Martial is out for 10 weeks. Imagine we get him. Big up, Love United, hate the ops. He's a regular viewer on the podcast.
Whoever gets Benzema, man, is going to get goals, 100%. Like, he would suit Chelsea, United, and Arsenal. I don't know why we're not
United tax. I'm ready to do the agendas, man.
Yeah, do you know what though? I mean, like you say this, Deluded, right?
I want him to flop. Pause. Yeah, he goes to any other club apart from Arsenal.
He goes to Man United.
Benzema's my guy, but I won't fall in his fucking face, mate.
Man United are used to these older older players as well up
You
top.
got Ibra, Larson.
Yeah. Igalo,
True.
Val Veghorst.
Yeah, but once you
yeah.
look past the prestige of Man United, I know they've got new owners and backroom staff for that. That's the all rumors. But once Benzema gets in there, he's going to see it's a mess. Same with Ronaldo, same with Pogba, same with everybody else, really, and truly. And United still can't defend.
If he's got any sense out of those three options, he will beg to come to Arsenal over the other two because they are the ones that, for me, around him are most complete. Because Man United are a mess. Chelsea, let's be real, he's just got a bunch of kids that he's trying to play with. Like fair play, they beat Middlesbrough 6. Pause. 6-1.
This pause thing's getting out of control, man.
That just slipped out as well. Pause. I would say he's got to come. He's got to come.
I deluded. Then you got deluded people.
I love me.
Hey, Bonsi, you're trying to kill me.
That was. You know how easy that I said that as well without even hesitating. It was, and I took it.
It's such innocent intentions as well. Man. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's so easily done, man. So easily done. That's about 15 pauses now, right? Surely.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they say 15.
Ridiculous.
Hey,
crazy,
I'm
man.
telling
Crazy. But listen, he doesn't come Arsenal. That's a silly move. I mean, there's talk yesterday he was going to go back to Lyon, I heard. But I don't know how true that is either. I don't know. He's going to go somewhere, isn't he? He's got to come.
What's going on in Saudi then, man? Half of the players seem like they want to cut, man.
It's crap out there. It's like League 2 level
man.
football, isn't it? It's like League 1 to League 2 level football, they're saying. It's crap. So they're funny
the only one there that's just like, I don't care. I got my bag, bro.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts.
Henderson try to come back. Other people are trying to cut out as well. But Benzema came out and said that he's not trying to leave or something, blood. So I don't know what's going on. Like, there's so many rumors going around because it's transfer window. There's just bare chatty patties, blood.
And you can't verify who's chatting facts, who's talking nonsense. This is what I said at the start. I'm at the point now, until people are holding shirts saying I watched Arsenal when I was young and all of that jazz. I'm not really involved in this now, man. Like, it's long now, man. Pause 100%.
We always get that, man. Oh, I watched Arsenal. I grew up watching Arsenal.
Yeah.
I always say this, don't they? And it's like,
until they're lying to me,
he's coming Arsenal because he watched us once.
I'm on Benzema though, man, because of the French ties and that, but I just don't see it happening.
I love Benzema, but I don't know. I don't think I can see it, but I would 100% take it. 100.
Yeah.
I think Benzema could happen, man. I mean, I think the French influence, Saliba, Henry could have a little word like, yo, go help them for 6 months, blood. Show you still got it. Because enough people are doubting him as well. Like, enough people are like, oh, why are we trying to get Benzema? Like, people are actually turning up their nose to carrying Benzema, blood. And they're trying to run with Eddie and Ketia, bro.
Benzema can help us, man. I just wonder, like again, Benzema's quality is not in question, but like the Saudi league, is he going to be as sharp as he could be? You know, he's been around some of the best managers in the game. Is he going to take Arteta in? Is he going to really have full? Pause. Is he going to have full-time commitment? Pause. 100%. I support Galchester United, 1,000,000%, like 1,000,000%. But like, is he really going to be committed? Like, I don't know.
People are saying in the chat, is he motivated? If he's trying to move back, then you don't have to remember as well, like, he's won everything. That's why he went to Saudi. Like, them man there, it's not like when Neves went out there, Ruben, or other players like of a younger bracket. Like him and Henderson, they've done their thing in it. You can go and get your bag. Ronaldo, you get me. You've done your thing. Go get your bag in it. Like Sadio Mane, you get me. There's a couple of them where you're like, all right, cool, go do your thing in it. Like the younger ones, you're like, whoa. You're just fully trying to get the bag in it because you might know that you're just rubbed. You're not gonna get like no trophies and everything there. You're just trying to make sure your bank account is nice. So you ain't got to be doing up pundit like the rest of these flipping man now, blood. You understand? Like, so I think that I don't know, man. It's.
I want to know how much. That's what I want to know. I want to know how much we've actually got in the bank. That's what I want to know. If we've got, let's say we've got £30 million. I don't know. I'm just saying that because we're bidding 22 million for Getafe strikers. So let's just say we've got 30 million, right? I would more than happily spend £30 million on the loan deals for Milinkovic-Savic and Benzema to come for 6 months, just pay their wages. That then takes us to the next level, in my opinion, to go for this title because you've got a killer in the box and you've got somebody that can allow Declan Rice not to be the only guy in there because Milinkovic-Savic is a baller, right, in the midfield. So that for me would be two good signings on loan. Yes, they go back to Saudi or wherever they want to go in the 6-month thing, but I have more faith that we would go to a Champions League or at least a title challenge than I would with Eddie and Ketia and, let's be real, like Jorginho, El Neni.
Even Ruben Neves done that because
Well,
apparently
yeah, exactly.
I wanted
Somebody
him
like that. Yeah.
bring something, make
But
something happen, man.
Weren't there rumours of him going Newcastle or something? But I see their FFP.
Like, bro, as long as he ain't gone Newcastle, have a conversation, man. Like, because I don't like to go off rumors, but where you look at Ruben Neves, when I see things in the Athletic, like we tried to get him, there must have been some sort of something going on. Just try to get him for a couple of months, man. If Arteta is this big fan of him and stuff, and big up Kai Havertz, but he would address a midfield. I think Ruben Neves and Declan Rice complement each other a lot more than Havertz and Declan Rice. Ruben Neves probably a bit deeper, pause, 100%. Rice running further forward. Like, I don't know, man. It just feels like we invent our own issues and like we do like 10 good things and then 20 shaky things. And then we're still sitting here having the same conversation. I'm pretty sure if all three of us go far enough on our YouTube channels, we've probably been saying indirectly these same conversations and same things. And the annoying thing is, like, in isolation, us three can't change anything. Like, we could talk or waffle about Arsenal, but what can we do? It's quite upsetting.
Let me ask you last question. Nottingham Forest. Who starts up front?
Jesus.
No, I'm saying, like, what's the three you go with?
Jesus, Saka, Martinelli for me. Big up Trossard. You don't deserve to be dropped, but just run that, man.
Potsy?
Great question, man. It's a great question. Okay, I'm going to go by what I believe deserves to happen. I'm going Jesus right, Trossard through the middle, and Martinelli left. And I'm bringing Saka on.
I'm with Potsy.
I don't feel comfortable with Saka being on the bench. I can't lie. Especially when we ain't got savages.
I think it's
needed.
He's not doing enough, blood. And it's just he's just running him into the ground. So I think we got to take him out of the limelight, blood. We got to take him out of the limelight. Have a rest, blood. You understand? You can, whether things are going bad or good, we should bring him off the bench. You understand? Don't fully dent his confidence. But I do think that we should maybe move Jesus to the right, blood, because he's so much of a threat on the right, blood.
Didn't he play against City off the right? Well, I might be lying to you. I might be lying.
Yeah, and it looked good. It looked good. And
That's Jesus, he's a winger, man.
Well? You know what else I would do as well? I'd have Smith Rowe starting with Odegaard. I would drop Havertz to the bench and use him as a different dimension centre forward or at least attacking option. I would not have him in this bloody left 8 thing, man. I thought he was terrible again against Palace, and I like judges trying to tell me he played well. It's like, come on, man. Like, this guy does not play well in that position. It's dead. So for me, Smith Rowe, he came on. I know it was a cameo. Did against West Ham, looked pretty sharp. I thought he looked really good when he came on against Palace. To be fair, Palace had rolled over by then anyway. But at the same time, he played well. And I just think that he did a lot more on the ball as a threat, driving forward, link-up play. Just like Kai Havertz gets a lot of credit for his link-up play. He doesn't drive the ball forward. He's not a great
Havertz gets credit for his link-up play?
Well, it's by some, not by me.
That's crazy. I can't lie.
Yeah. Not by me, that's for sure. I don't want the guy.
It's by the people that Ethan is talking about.
Boy, that's not link-up play to me, man. I'll give him credit for putting in the shift and being physical, pause, but that the ball's on the floor when you start praising players for that. Like, to be honest, I ain't really got energy for Havertz no more, because he's one of them. I look at you, you know your shit. We all know your shit. You shouldn't be here. It is what it is, man. Like, I don't know, man, because part of me, I think Smith Rowe has to start, but I would give Havertz the willingness that he does put in his shift and.
I drop Havertz, bro. Smith Rowe starts for me as well.
100.
I'll probably lean towards Smith Rowe starting, but I understand if Havertz starts.
The midfield for me would be Rice, Odegaard, Smith Rowe.
Facts. Absolute facts.
Make it work.
That would be the midfield, bro. Because
change it up, man.
That midfield works, like, and with a Mill, he makes players around him better.
And he's got a point to prove.
You get me? Like, Havertz is making Odegaard look shit. He's making even Rice look shit, blood. Whereas Smith Rowe, he makes you bring up your levels because you know what he's on. Havertz, you look at him, certain time I see flipping Rice, I'm like, yo, why aren't you punching the ball forward? I look and I'm like, oh, it's Havertz. And then when it's Odegaard in front of him, he'll punch it forward. So even the players, Jorginho against Forest, it's nah. Forest are going to
It's very hit and miss, isn't it? That's the thing with Jorginho.
You get me?
Very hit and miss.
I think that match is too intense. I think away from home, you don't use Jorginho. I think at home, He's a good tool to. He's a good weapon to have in your arsenal. No pun intended. You get me? But away from home, the likes of him, Zinchenko, I don't want them nowhere near the fucking team.
Still scarred from Chelsea.
I wouldn't even start
with them two. Really.
Yeah, I wouldn't even start Raya, mate. I'd start Ramsdale. I'm more comfortable with Ramsdale away from home. Raya's errors have always come away from home. All the stupidness he does is away from home, blood.
True.
Big up AS2 skills. Arteta winning the FA Cup with David Luiz, Bellerin, and Mustafi is never going to be appreciated by Arsenal fans.
We big him up for that. What are you talking about? He gets held up for the FA Cup, man. Big him up for that. You can't he won an FA Cup for us. But cool. What now? You've whetted the appetite. Pause for trophies.
What have you done for me lately?
And I'm not one that's onto you or like that, but bro, like we can't say you've got all this potential, this, that, and the third, and not hold you to high standards that people are saying. You can't say he's innovative, he's this, that, the other. And when something goes wrong, not ask questions. Wenger got questions, Emery got questions, Pep got questioned at the earlier point of the season. Poch is getting questions, Ten Hag's but he's getting questions. You got to take the rough with the smooth. Pause, man. It is what it is. Can't say he's the next big bad wolf and all of that and not praise him, man, and not criticize him in the same vein, man. It feels like anything you say about Mikel Arteta that is nothing to do with just gassing him. You're called a hater and all of these things. It's ridiculous sometimes.
Fuck off down the line.
You're
not proper Arsenal. You're not a real Arsenal fan. You're not.
It's not like we spend all day waffling on YouTube about the club,
bro.
Crazy, man.
It's ridiculous.
You're toxic. You just want to win. Go down the lane. Oh, yeah, because they win, don't they?
How
does that make any sense?
Dickheads. Of all places, you're telling man to go and win.
Yeah. Literally. At least they go City or something, man.
You get me?
Ridiculous.
Fucking mugs. Nearly flipping lost my youth to Man City, blood. Luckily, you get me?
Oh, I'm done.
I'm the man out here, blood. Don't play with me. You want to live in my house and understand, have food in your belly. Arsenal, yeah, Zimmy. But
as it should be, man.
Yeah, blood, they got no choice. I don't give a shit. Man, them large at yourselves, man. I appreciate you lot coming on and talking. You get me, giving your views on that. You lot know, subscribe to the Man Them's channel. Link is in the description. You get me, Deluded Gooner, football's 12th man, to go and watch episodes of Maury every evening. Yeah, make sure you're there, blood. I'm gonna go recap because I haven't seen Scream versus Braveheart. So
that was good, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, Dan's content's amazing, man. Like, the contrast is in the opinion. Even when sometimes he tries to be mediator and they're just going too crazy, like it's elite.
Man, it's impossible, man. Impossible to mediate some of those, man. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Oh, man.
But big up the chat as well, blood. You understand? You lot make sure you like the thing on your way out, blood. Big up everyone for their super chats, blood. You understand? I'll be back again tomorrow as well. Podcast. We're back again. That Walad Lewis, he missed his flight from Dam. The guy ate too many fucking space cakes, but he's back again now. You understand? So tomorrow, same time, 4:45. Back again. Episode 259 will be live for your bumper class. So pull up to that one as well, blood.
Set your reminders, folks.
You get me. Until then, you lot, you know the vibe. Stay safe.
Peace.
Come on.